Maybe I. You know, on my PS5, I downloaded the Virtual Fighter 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yo, this is Stop Capping and Swift Climax,
Yo.
and we promised you another game talk, and today is that day. And we talked about what the next game was gonna be, and yes, we had to bring back this fighter classic. It's a series that we grew up on. We're very prideful of it. It was definitely, oh, believe it or not, one of the creators of the Virtual Fighter series, he left Sega, and guess what he became a creator for?
Oh, I have no idea.
A little game called Tekken.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. A little game called Tekken. So yeah. Yeah, that's one hell of a promotion. The when we were looking up those Virtual Fighter facts.
No.
Yeah. So let's see what we got here. But yeah, I mean, this was a game that really revolutionized a lot of the fighting game genre when Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat were like taking over. Virtual Fighter series was something that was a huge risk because no one really attempted a 3D a 360 fighter before, especially with the graphics they had back in the day. So I mean, like, what's like for your perspective? What's like, how did Virtual Fighter impact you?
Wow. Well, for starters, like you said, it was 3D, and it was definitely, you know, this might not sound, this is gonna sound kind of funny, but it was a big deal for me when a game didn't have like a Hadouken. Like, there's no fireballs, no gimmicky flash kicks. I mean, they had flash kicks, you know. Don't get me wrong. Hold on, Jackie, and all that. But you know, no, like, it wasn't Street Fighter. If there's one way to put it, it wasn't any other fighting game. It was a very technical fighting game, which
Yeah,
is
it
like
was
unheard of.
very technical fighting game.
Yeah. The inputs, they had to be precise about it. It wasn't user friendly.
Yeah, so
And
Virtual Fighter came out 1993. So this tells you how
really?
far
Wow.
back. Yeah, this tells you how far back Virtual Fighter has come. Yeah.
I the cast though, the cast of characters were definitely very good, I think. I like all the fighters. There wasn't like one fighter that I wasn't like, no, that like why they put them in the game. I think everybody has a good place in that game.
Right. I like how, what do you call it? So obviously if I go to what do you call it, offline, let's see if I go to training, free training right here, right? So yeah, so back in the day we had Akira, Pai, Lao, Wolf, Jeffrey, Cage, or Kage, whatever you want to call them. Sarah and Jackie Bryant, they were the original group. Then you had Virtual Fighter 2, which added Shundi, Leon Raphael, and then later on, Virtual Fighter 3 added on, I don't know how to spell her name, Io Yomei Dokuji. I know for sure Taka Arashi, the sumo wrestler.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I think Virtual Fighter 4 was the game they added Lei Fei, the Shaolin monk, and I think Gao, the Japanese judo fighter. He was like the pale blue hair fighter. He was practically they practically made him like the next, like he was like the next villain. And then I think it was the same game they added Brad Burns, or I think it was just they added him in Virtua Fighter 5. He was the Muay Thai kickboxer. And then they added Vanessa Lewis. You know, they're actually really specific. One was Muay Thai, and the other was like American kickboxing. I think, yeah, it was weird.
Hey, that's a big difference, all right?
Big difference.
Oh, you Muay Thai? You got, I don't know. You got the tape. You got the.
You know what? I'll double check with Vanessa right now. The Vanessa.
Kickboxing? I don't know. It just sounds soft.
Okay, so she had the valet. Yeah, she had the Muay Thai. Yeah, previously Muay Thai. And then she had the valet tudo, so it was basically kind of like the MMA. So they actually switched her fighting style, which because so yeah, she was Virtua Fighter 4. She debuted in Virtua Fighter 4, so she was Muay Thai. Then she transferred to valet tudo. So basically, that's like the like the MMA fighting style, like Craig Murdoch. And then the newer characters, Elaine, who had the monkey style, El Blaze, the luchador, and my favorite newest character of the Virtua Fighter series was Jean Kujo, the karate Shotokan fighter. Really great fighter, and he's like another Enigma / like villainous fighter.
Oh man, I think we should just before we start going into the future of Virtual Fighter, if we could just take it back to the roots, because I'm not even familiar with these new names. If I had Virtual Fighter 5 in front of me right now, I'd be able to talk more. Like I could see the new characters, but I don't.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking like about like the total like history of Virtua Fighter. So I mean, yeah, like if we're going back from like part 1, part 2, I mean, like you could talk about whatever is comfortable up to your like your knowledge of Virtua Fighter. I would drop whatever needs to be dropped. For instance, let's see, another fun fact here. All these fun facts over here. Top secret stuff. Yeah, see, it was the designer. So it was Shichi Ishii, designed both games for Virtua Racing and Virtua Fighter for Sega. He will leave Sega shortly after enjoying the arcade rival Namco. He helped create the first Tekken game in 1994.
Tekken. Oh man. Don't get me started on Tekken. He's mentioned Tekken twice already.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is even funny. This is ironic, right? So, you know how we talked about in our last game talk and last Reniment, the illustrator and designer did the bouncer.
Oh yeah.
So this guy, they say if so this is based on SegaBits.com. So they said if this wasn't enough, this guy started his own studio called Dream Factory, developing fighting games for Square. So one game you're probably not familiar with is called Turbo No. 1, and then the other Final Fantasy themed game was the Geist, God Bless the Ring. So I know you're familiar with that game. That fighting game that had like Cloud, Vincent Valentine, and there was like a bunch of other fighters in the game. It was like it was that PS1 game. Yep, and then he helped launch as a designer too. Part of his Dream Factory company. He helped launch the PlayStation 2 title, The Bouncer.
Oh yeah.
So it's funny how so far these last two game talks, everything has come back towards the bouncer. So yeah, go back to the main menu. I wonder if we could do online versus.
That is, and you know, video games. That's good that they have a. It's like the franchise and the branding. It's just. Besides like the big ones though, it sucks that like the little ones, it's you don't know, like you have to dig to find out who did what's where, and then it kind of tailors into your taste of video games. Like, well, like Capcom, for instance, is a good example. Like if you buy a Capcom game, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into, but then Bouncer is, you know, you had no idea what the hell what that was about to be. I guess besides 3D fighting, like if you did the research, there was no research though. When the Bouncer came out, you know what? Actually, especially when Virtua Fighter came out, I think computers and the internet was just coming out.
Yeah, I mean,
not just coming out, but being more popular in households and whatnot.
Oh yeah, there's no there's no problem with that. Yeah, what do you call? Let's see what they got here. Oh match.
That's actually pretty. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty insane. You know what? And then there was no online fighting. If you didn't know anybody, you're gonna fight the computer. And
yeah. I mean, this was also back when arcades were, well, you know, were great too.
That's so true. Yeah. What a time.
I mean, yeah.
Now arcades are just a thing of the past. Well, besides Dave and Buster's, but does that count? I don't know. I'm not gonna count it.
But no, yeah, not Dave and Buster's. We're talking about like arcades, like going, you know, you go into Chinatown Fair in New York City, and all, you know, all that good stuff. Yeah. No, but who was your favorite character that intrigued you?
Oh no, it was definitely Jackie. Jackie was the best. He had the show off moves, the kicks. He was a race car driver. As a kid, all those things are just appealing, I guess, for some reason. Versus, like, I don't know, someone without a good, I don't know, like what was Sarah's backstory? Where she just always had amnesia or something. Like,
well, yeah, you know, she had amnesia because she was like captured by what do you call the villains of what do you call it, J6. So J6 was the corporation that captured what do you call it, even Cage's mother. And fun, you know, spoiler alert, Cage's mother is apparently Durrell in the game.
Oh. I'm not even sure if I knew that, or maybe I knew and I forgot.
No, you knew and you knew and you forgot. It was like such a long time ago.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
What? But yeah, I used to play some. You know, that I don't know why Virtual Fighter didn't stick. Like, why doesn't it stick like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or Tekken? Like, those stories are very, like, you don't have to dig deep. Like, you know what those are about.
Mm-hmm.
And Virtual Fighter was more like, you're gonna fight this boss who just has all the moves of it's pretty much Shang Tsung on crack. what was it, Duran, because that's all she did, right? In the first couple ones. I don't know who about the later ones.
Oh, Doro. Yeah, she was. I mean, she was pretty much like a beefed up Cage, and like Akira. Like she was like Akira and Cage like in one character.
Yo, she always went for that diving headbutt. Oh my god.
She goes for the diving headbutt. She did the goddamn drill attack. The cannon drill attack.
Oh yeah.
The kick attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and going back to what you said too is like, yeah, like I don't care if people get triggered about this, but yeah, like especially with games like Tekken 3, the ultimate like button bashing game, what do we call it? It showed that Virtua Fighter was always a better legit fighting game in terms of what do we call it? Just like you said, the exact calculations of a video game in terms of like button inputs and having like real skill. Like anyone can pick Eddie Gordo, even like your girlfriend, and like mop the floor with someone who actually knows how to play the game.
Eddie Gordo, he's hilarious to button mash with. And the funny part is when you know what the funny thing is, when you go to training mode and then you actually learn how to use them a little bit, that's when you start losing.
Yeah, when you actually know when you actually know his moves, that's when stuff gets dumb.
That's when you start taking L's. Why, I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
Whoa. Exactly. Yeah, it's been forever and a day since I've done this. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right now, I'm in the cage match with Gao, just hurting him.
Yo, I should have booted up Virtua Fighter 5. I have an old-fashioned online play. See how much I remember.
Oh yeah. We could have definitely like messed around in the game and then did it part of our game talk. I mean that's what I like about the game talk is not only that like you watch the intro of the game, but we can also show you the gameplay, show you different characters, tell you why you should get it.
Wait, isn't Virtua Fighter 3 like part 5?
I don't actually remember if it's a PSN and then it cancels out.
Oh, got you. You know what? I would do it. I would do it, but not yet. I would definitely do it.
I know for sure. So I was surprised that you could download this game for the PS4. I got it for free, yeah, for PlayStation Plus. I think it was for the PlayStation 3. Virtua Fighter 5, Final Showdown. This game.
It came out during Part 3.
PS3, yeah. The last, yeah, it came out during PS3. I got it downloaded. That was like during the time when it was a free download. For PS3, I abused playing that game. Like, that was a game that definitely got me through. Going through a lot of games because I was going through like a lot of games with the red box and all that stuff back in the day. We didn't have the option to record videos and do all that jazz like before. So if I had the, I mean, that's what's great about these remasters now. I can actually go back to these games and visit some of these classic games, or give a retrospective why we should play the game and all that other good stuff. Yeah, my favorite character is definitely Wolf, obviously. That was, amazing character to use.
Was it the wrestling moves?
Yeah, it was because that was like during like the heyday when like 80s and 90s, like 80s and 90s wrestling literally took over like the TV world. Other than like all the game shows and all that good shit. Sitcoms. But wrestling for me was, man, like, if anyone doesn't know, like, wrestling is a huge part of me and my brother's life. Especially, being really fortunate to be born and raised in New York. And, seeing my first WWE event. It was during the house shows in Madison Square Garden when I was in the second grade. And I got to see Mr. Perfect wrestle. I got to see Earthquake wrestle. I got to see Coco Beware wrestle. I got to see Hillbilly Jim wrestle. These are like all huge names in wrestling. And yeah, the Wolf for me was my guy. And also Jeffrey McWild too.
Why he have that red face paint?
Oh, because he's a Native American from Canada.
Is what?
Yes, he's from Canada. He's from Canada.
I remember that, but I didn't even know they had Native Americans there.
Yeah, they had believe it or not, what do we call it? Believe it or not, they actually had in Canada, there was actually slavery with the Native Americans back in the day when the French took over, Canada back in the day. I was actually talking to our cousin Cindy about it, and she was like, she was saying that is a huge stain on their country. And it's one of those things that like it's still hard for them to kind of like admit it or just deal with it in general. But yeah, it's something that they try to like steer away from.
Well, I don't want to bash on Canada right now, but so I'm gonna just say, Wolf, welcome to Virtua Fighter.
Yeah.
Wherever you're from, alright? Doesn't matter.
He's from Canada, baby.
Oh my goodness. So, Canadian wrestler. Native American Canadian wrestler. Where do you get it? Wait a minute. How did they develop the concept of their characters?
That's a good question because I remember Jeffrey's from Australia. It was really cool. What I really liked? I really liked how, what do we call it? This game represented the positive aspects. I know like a lot of people get slack with Street Fighter about character representation or stereotypes, but I felt like this series did really good on that with Akira, the Bryant siblings, and so forth.
So they were able to make characters without stereotypes.
Yeah, like without like something that will come off as offensive,
Yeah.
Like if you have a Shaolin monk, if you have a Shaolin fighter, you're gonna get, he's from China, but like he's not like your typical, like they don't have like any cheesy flashy moves. Like they actually did their research and they did a good job with these characters. Let's see. I know we got Jackie here. We're gonna start playing some Jackie here. You got some Jeet Kune Do.
Oh, the Jeet Kune Do.
Jeet Kune Do. Oh, since I'm a winter guy. Go to the snow mountains over here. But yeah, I mean, as far as I know, you could get your game for free on PlayStation if you have PlayStation Plus at the time.
I just tried now, and it's asking me to go on PSN now.
Oh well, yeah. If you could get on PSN, I mean, I know like once they have what do we call it? When a certain offer is up, you can't get it for free, obviously. But I'm trying to see how much. Let's see how much this goes.
Yeah, I have a question. Now,
Oh, so usually they say, okay, so it's usually $14.99, so it's like about $15. and that article came out. It debuted 2012. So yeah, it was during that time, man. When what do you call it? What was it? PS3 era.
But I have to ask, why you think Virtua Fighter is not as big as the other games that was mentioned like previously, the Mortal Kombat, the Street Fighter, Smash Brothers? Let's just throw that in there.
Well, oh yeah, like Soul Calibur, like it paved the way for so many 3D fighters. I'll be real with you, man. Like when it comes down to it, it's about. I feel like if there's a certain game, depending on what it is, right? First off, the storytelling of this game was really bland. In terms of like, you know, they give you certain things that leaves a lot of gaps. There was no, like for instance, like Tekken came a long way in terms of their storytelling with like cutscenes. I'll talk about character profiles, like hey, Jackie Bryant's this. Like usually back in the day when we had stuff going on, like if you owned a Virtua Fighter game or rented the game. The only way you will know about a character's backstory if you beat the game with a character, and also if you had the booklets, like back in the day when we had booklets for our games, the character profile will basically give you a whole summary about the character.
Oh wow, that is another throwback.
Yeah, so like that's something we really don't have anymore. Now, if you try to buy a game, and you know, I mean, I can remember them doing this like maybe a handful of years, maybe about 8 years now. Like they've really stopped the whole, you know, like booklets. Like I know they do probably with some games with a Switch or here and there, but they really stopped the whole like booklets with games with like, you know, they have like the introduction of the game, they give you instructions how to play the game. They tell you all about the like the fighting game system or how, you know, a tutorial how to play the game, the character profiles, the story overview, you know, the credits, information about the company, you know, stuff like that. You know, these are all basic things that what do we call it, that us fans, you know, a lot of people take for granted nowadays. Also another thing too, like I said, like, you know, it might come off as a knock, but also if a game like Virtua Fighter doesn't get that much exposure, like I said, like, you know, like the gameplay, I felt like it was a really non-scrub game. So not only that, what do you call it? Like not only that, like I said, like Tekken was like a really button bashing game, but Virtua Fighter was like very precise on how they presented their fighting. Like the people who created this game were really serious about making this like a real fighting game. But another thing too was I think the downfall of Virtua Fighter, but at the same time, like it's revived somewhat now because it's relevant with the PlayStation Network and all that stuff. Sega lost the console wars. That's a huge problem. A huge problem with Sega is like the whole console war era. Virtua Fighter had all these amazing characters and so much potential to do more storytelling. And that's where, like I said, Tekken picked up the ball. Tekken picked up the ball with all these cinema scenes, cut scenes. Now they have movies. Imagine if Sega did all that with Virtua Fighter, if they put in that much effort in the game. You know what I mean? So it would be nuts.
Sonic, baby.
Yeah, they were too focused on Sonic. Too focused on Sonic.
Man, well, at least they're but they sold it now, so they can't even benefit, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, technically, well, like Nintendo owns Sonic now. I mean, or
No, I'm not mistaken.
yeah, but I'm surprised to see, like I said, like I'm happy for what they did with Virtual Fighter in terms of having it on the PlayStation. Like, that's like something I didn't think that was ever gonna happen. I was like, when I first saw this free for PlayStation Plus, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was like, and then basically back again for PlayStation 4. Like, I was like, god damn. It's like they're really trying to keep Virtua Fighter alive. What's really great though, like in with the fighting game community, in terms of like fighting game tournaments, they really it's really entertaining to see people who really love Virtual Fighter. They go all out crazy with what do we call it? In tournament play. So it's really good to see that once in a while. But like it's so rare now.
That was very good, like, reasoning.
See, for instance, for instance, I just did the triple head bash move with Jeffrey, right? So to do the move, you do back forward throw. Oh well, no, he's by the wall now. So you do back forward throw, and then if you want to do the repeated, in today's heyday, if he was in Tekken and he did a grab, he'll do the triple headbutt automatically. It wouldn't be like, the only person that has like real inputs in Tekken that's challenging is like obviously Anna, Nina, and then you got like Keen, Armor Keen with the throws. And I might be missing some other characters who might have some more combination throws, but like, see, if you want to do the triple headbutt, you gotta do now back forward with the throw command, and then keep repeating forward throw. So I gotta do this. Oh no. So hold on. That. Oh wow, you can actually do that into that. And there you go, triple headbutt again. So like I said, like, to be precise and all that stuff in the fighting game, like for people to really understand, yeah, that can be frustrating compared to like something easy like a Hadouken or Hurricane Kick. But I mean, to be fair, when Virtua Fighter started, it really was a really easy game to play.
Yeah, that's true. It did evolve over time. if I had to put, if I had to really figure that out. That is true. It did like evolve into a more technical.
It became a very technical game.
But wait, which one you playing now?
5.
Now, I have to mention this before I forget. Virtual Fighter Kids was.
Oh yeah, Virtua Fighter Kids was another good spin-off game. Also, what'd you call it? Also, to let you guys know, there's also a Yakuza series collaboration pack for $9.99 and a Virtua Fighter Ultimate Legendary pack where I guess you get the costumes making them look like polygons from the original Virtua Fighter. So there you go. But yeah, Virtua Fighter Kids, great honorable mention since we're talking about the entire series. That was another spin-off game that did really great. And also, don't forget, they were also part of Fighter Megamix, another great fighting game that was on the Sega Saturn back in the day. So yeah, look that up, guys. Fighter Megamix. You had Virtua Fighter characters in the game. You got characters from Fighting Vipers in the game, and then even Sonic Fighters, and I'm pretty sure the Virtua Fighter Kids too in there. But either way, yeah, I mean, Virtua Fighter was definitely a game series that deserves all its flowers and all its praise, because like I said, like without Virtua Fighter, a lot of great games like Soul Calibur, what do we call it, even like the 3D 360 like King of Fighter games like Maximum Impact, there's Street Fighter EX, even for God's sakes, even Street Fighter EX went 3D, and they were doing their thing for a while.
3D. God. Now, why Virtual Fighter never had a collaboration with Tekken or Street Fighter?
Yo, you know what? That's one thing I would love to see. I would love to see a crossover in the Street Fighter game. Not just a Street Fighter game, but mostly a Tekken game. If there, it would have to be like the next Tekken game. And speaking of Tekken, Tekken might be the next fighting game that I want to talk about, since we're talking about Virtua Fighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Shoot. I mean, these were all the platforms that Virtua Fighter came out. It was like arcade, Sega Saturn, 32X, Windows, Mega Drive, Game Gear, Master System, Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, GameCube, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 even had it. It was even on mobile and PlayStation 4.
Shout out to Xbox.
No.
The last time felt bad. Last time we kind of.
Yeah. Oh, also don't forget. They were also another game they also influenced for sure. Not just Tekken, but Dead or Alive series.
Wow, Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive was another fighting game series that I also loved.
I'm only familiar with the volleyball. Sorry.
Yeah, you're only familiar with volleyball.
I'm only familiar with that aspect of the game.
Well, here's some apparent facts according to Guinness World Records. It was included to be the first polygon-based fighting game, first 3D fighting game, first fighting game for a 32-bit console. What else? What we got here? Yeah.
Are you reading accolades for the game?
Yeah, I'm reading accolades of like, you know, because it's considered the grandfather. Like this is like a pioneer, grandfather of 3D fighting games.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. Why they have freaking Justice League, Mortal Kombat? Why they have, you know, Tekken versus Street Fighter? Which I actually, now that we're talking about Tekken versus Street Fighter,
You know, I would love to see Dead or Alive versus Virtua Fighter.
Yeah,
like that. If you want to talk about a game that's really closest to Virtua Fighter right now, is Dead or Alive. As much as I want to see some stuff with Tekken, you can put them in Tekken. It's not impossible. I mean, you could definitely put Cage in Tekken. Jackie for sure. Oh my God, another Jeet Kune Do, Law versus Jackie. Oh man. And Akira versus Paul Phoenix. Yeah, Lion Raphael versus Leo. What do you call it? Who's my guy? God damn it. Not Brian. Who's Brad Burns? You know, kickboxer versus who's my guy in Tekken? God damn it.
Who's your guy?
Bruce. The other multi kickboxing guy, Bruce. He was one of my other all-time favorite Tekken characters. But yeah, man, holy shit. This is some good shit.
This is, yeah, I'm excited for it, and it's not even in development, or that I know of. But they, you know what, if they don't want to do it, at least make it a guest character, man. If you could put Heihachi in freaking, what is it, Soul Calibur, or I forgot what they did. Link, they put in Link in Soul Calibur, they put in Akuma and Tekken, whatever the case may be. Can't you throw one Akira, even though no one likes him, for some reason he's the poster boy. Throw him in a game. Introduce Virtua Fighter again.
Round 2.
That's true.
Ready, go!
And the only reason I don't care for Akira is because I have no idea how to use him.
Well, what's it called? The PlayStation, what's it called? The what was it? This is what I got from the May 25th, 2021. So they say without PlayStation Plus subscription, it's $29.99. So if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription, get this game. It's available for free for PlayStation Plus, but it does have DLC. So. Just be aware they have a couple of DLC packs that goes for around $10 each, and there you go. But like I said again, this game for this version for the PlayStation 4 came out June 2nd, 2021. So what are you waiting for? You know, the whole reason about Game Talk is not just it's a combination of a lot of things, man. Like for something that a lot of people want to do different with their podcasts is we want to talk about the game, we want to show you what the game looks like, you know, review it as much as we can, give you guys as much knowledge as, you know, us being not just like people who want to put content online, but as fans. You know, everyone starts off as fans, and we just, you know, get right into it. And this is just one of those games that really doesn't get enough credit, and as a pioneer in fighting games.
That's right. As they said in the Matrix, the architect is Respect I think he said respect your predecessors.
Respect, yeah, the Mary Vigilian. He's
Yeah.
the respect your predecessors.
Yeah.
But let's see, man, so many great fighting games, 3D fighting games that came from this particular game. But let's see, what's another? You know what? Let's see, another good game that I could probably talk about next time. Let's see this goddamn library over here. I got this goddamn library of games here ready to ready for the picking here. Oh, you know what? This wouldn't be a bad idea. We could either go with something like Unamusha, or we could go something like the Dynasty Warriors. You know, Dynasty Warriors, and this will be a mix-up with the Warriors of Orochi series. And you know, it's not just Dynasty Warriors per se, but man, there's so many games out there that they inspired now. You know, the whole copy and paste warrior-like games with other franchises and other series that we also love or are curious about. So, and, you know, those are plenty of options out there. Plenty of options out there, but man, so many great things about this game. This game series. And like I said, like, you know, you can get this game right now on your PlayStation 4. If you guys have it still on your PlayStation, for you guys that still have your PS3s, and for whatever reason you love fighting games and you still got this game on your console, yo, big shout out to you guys. I still got it on my console. Like, you know, I'm not deleting it for nothing. Same thing for this console. I'm not gonna be deleting it for nothing. So it just shows you how far back we go with what do we call it? Virtua Fighter. But yeah, that's about it. And you know, believe it or not, I don't know when the release date of Overwatch 2 gonna be, but what do you call it? We're definitely gonna do a video. We should definitely do a game talk of Overwatch prior to its release.
Oh, and it's the anniversary right
Yeah.
now. You can buy any skin. I highly recommend you do it, because even though I bought the skin, I bought the Doomfist skin, and I haven't tried it yet, but I know this skin will enhance my gameplay.
Enhance that gameplay.
It's gonna give me +5 to taunting and bagging,
Round three.
and not that I bag all the time, but sometimes. I'm guilty.
But yo, believe it or not, man, like it's crazy how this game series is just shy of 30 years. It's like right now it's 29. Next year is gonna be 30 years old.
Man.
This series is gonna be 30 years old. And like, yeah, I know like Street Fighter got, you know, their anniversary thing and all that stuff. That's great. You know, what was it, 35 years? Yeah, they got Street Fighter 6 coming out. You know, like, like I said, like Virtua Fighter took leaps and bounds into the 3D world before a lot of these other games we appreciate going to 3D. And it's not just fighting games either. It's also action adventure games. You know, even you gotta give credit to Sega. Like they were like as much as success as they try to milk with the Sega CD, and not everyone could afford it back in the day. Like they were the first ones to really come out with Sega CD, like the system, and like you know what I mean. And then they had the upgraded version of what do you call it? Like they had the 32X version of Virtua Fighter, but yeah, like I said, arcades, man. Everything starts with arcades, and like if you guys for whatever reason still have an arcade by your home that's not like a David Buster's or something cheesy like a Johnny Incredible's Pizza or whatever, support your local arcades, man, wherever you are in the world, because these guys are pretty much about to be extinct like the fucking dodo bird. Support your local arcade, whatever arcade is left. Buy the arcade machines. There's people out there, Jeff. Like, there's people out there that actually buy arcade systems now, and like they invest in the motherboards. It's crazy.
It is a classic. There is still a lore and a feel towards it.
I mean, just the fact that there's people out there that actually invest in the machines, and they invest in buying the boards for the games and all that stuff. I like those are great. Shoot, there's even this one arcade spot in Fresno called Oh Wow Nick Arcade, where you could go play the arcades for 5 cents each machine. Each machine, 5 cents.
That's a bad deal, because repairing those machines cause a whole lot more problems.
Yeah, repairing those machines will cost a lot more, exactly. And another good thing also is with some of the machines that are in there, some of them are like, some of the arcade classics are so old, or they try to have a fair amount of games where like it can only be 5 cents for for credit, and then there's some other arcade machines that you could just play for free straight up. Even the Aviation Museum by Nassau Community College in New York, there's a arcade. There's a second floor area where you could play arcades. There's nothing but arcades on that second floor of the Aviation Museum. And I think it's only like an $18 or $14 fee. You go there, and you play all the arcade games you want. There's everything from action adventure, fighting games. Like I said, like me and my brother love fighting games. I mean, shoot. I mean, everything starts with your your arcades. Like, and I know that what do we call it? Not every single soul has grown up just with a console system. I know there's folks out there that still play their first arcade game and all that stuff. But for something that was a pioneer and the grandfather of 3D fight games, Virtua Fighter is it.
Virtual Fighter, baby.
You got anything else left to say?
I just want to say that praying mantis fighting style in Virtual Fighter, it might not be too effective in real life.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I'm still on the fence of what game we're gonna do for Game Talk next. But if you like this video, you know, like, comment, subscribe, and you know, give us some suggestions. Yeah, have that notification bell. Yeah, but also give us some suggestions what games you know you would like us to talk about, or you know what games you are also you know in this you're passionate about in terms of like the fighting game genre or other genres, because I definitely like how this is going, and I definitely want to, you know, we're definitely going to keep doing more. You know, we're only going to get better doing this by doing more game talks. But with that being said, this is Stop Capping, Stop the Cap. This was a Swift Climax. Are you doing your imaginary wave?
Oh, no, I was thinking about playing some jabroni, because I just got my tax return, and then I buy them Virtual Fire 4, but you know what, you told me that we're not there yet, so... But
well, five. No, four. Four is way up.
Whatever I want.
Yeah.
By the way, it can't beat me.
Oh yeah. Also, if you live in New York City, I definitely support this store. It's called Video Games New York. It's in the downtown area of Manhattan. Don't know the address? Google it. Video Games New York. They sell everything from Japanese American hybrid systems and your current gen video game systems and games today. So that being said, you know, take care and keep on gaming. Peace.